Today, the UFC held a UFC 311 seasonal press conference. You had Islam Makhachev, Arman Tsaryukyan, Merab Dvalishvili, and Umar Nurmagomedov. And we're going to check out a bunch of different clips from this press conference. Dana White actually decided to show up. I complained yesterday. Dana's so checked out, he doesn't even show up for the press conferences. He shows up today, and people are going to be calling me out now because they're going to say, Joey, what are you talking about? He might as well not even showed up. He tried to ruin this press conference. Luckily, he didn't, because to summarize this press conference real quickly before we get into clips, because we have a lot to digest, this was one of the best press conferences of the year, if not the best press conference in literal years. Dana White's completely checked out, tried to ruin the press conference. We're going to go on a Dana White rant and check out a couple of Dana White clips towards the end of this presser. The media absolutely embarrassed themselves. And more importantly, the biggest takeaway from this presser is Umar Nurmagomedov absolutely humiliated Merab Dvalishvili. And not only that, Merab didn't do himself any favors at all. I mean, he looked so bad at this press conference. Outside of one line that Merab said, which I will highlight in this video, this may have been the worst press conference performance I have ever seen. I would have rather been Jeremy Stevens when Conor McGregor broke out the who the F is that guy, okay? Who the fuck is that guy? I would have rather been Jeremy Stevens, okay? Than Merab at this press conference. Umar completely humiliates him. At one point, with one sentence, Islam completely humiliates him. And let's just jump right into it because there's a lot to dissect here. One thing I want to say, okay, before we get into any of this, is if you enjoy these videos, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please turn on notifications. I would greatly appreciate it. This first question is, Merab, you said you didn't want to fight till March. Why are you fighting earlier now? And this just really sets the tone for the entirety of the press conference because Merab already starts kind of complaining about having to fight Umar and complains about Umar in general. Listen to this.
Of course, it's personal because every time I see him, I give him my respect. I shake his hand. I even tell him I was going to fight him one day. And who is this?
Hey, respect, champ.
Okay. And and now he start talk trash online, and then the real men don't doing this, you know. So
he started talking trash online, and real men don't do this. This sets the tone. Umar smiling. This similar remark is made multiple times throughout the press conference. And Umar literally absolutely destroys Merab every time he says this. Merab just puts his foot in his mouth. By the way, this video is primarily about Merab and Umar. Islam and Arman were just respectful to each other. Islam said he would be open to a rematch with Charles Oliveira if he gets through Arman. There was a couple other small things, but really there was nothing super pertinent to include in this video regarding Islam or Arman. We're going to hear one line from Islam when he absolutely bodies Merab, kind of gangs up on him a little bit, not really, but in a respectful manner. But we'll check that out in a little bit. Next clip. Merab is asked, well, why is this fight happening earlier than March? You said you didn't want to fight earlier than March. Now you're fighting in January. Why? And man, it's impossible to say Merab wasn't trying to duck Umar anymore. It's literally impossible. He humiliated himself just in this answer, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Listen to this.
yes, so I was gonna take my time. I was thinking to take 6 months period between my fights, and I was gonna enjoy. But and when Peter has a great fight against Figueiredo, I was so excited, especially he called me out.
When Piotr had a great fight against Figueiredo, I was really excited, especially when he called me out. I could sit here and go on a tirade about, like, what you're calling out Piotr Jan right now? You're calling out Piotr Jan? But Umar easily debunks it and confronts Merab with logic later in this video, so I won't bother doing it. But man, does he make himself look bad already. He's hyping up Jan. Keep in mind, he already scheduled to fight Umar. Now he's hyping up Jan. In a second, he talks about he wanted to give O'Malley a rematch, and he says Umar didn't deserve it. Let's continue.
And since Umar wasn't able to fight in March, I said, okay, let's fight Peter Yan in March in Vegas. O'Malley was coming back in April. I was thinking to fight O'Malley in April, and I was thinking to fight Umar in May. But no, flipped. Now I'm going to fight Umar.
So he wanted to fight Jan in March, which it's awfully convenient. He wanted 6 months off all of a sudden because he didn't want to fight Umar and he knows about Ramadan coming up. I don't think that's just a coincidence. And then he wants to fight O'Malley afterwards before Umar, and he goes on to say, well, Umar hasn't deserved it yet. By the way, we got, in a second, we'll watch the rest of this particular clip. The fan hypocrisy, the fans have been exposed in this Umar Merab beef, by the way, but let's continue.
It's gonna be a tough fight. As a fighter, he's a good fighter, but he don't earn like everybody else. Like, he don't go through, like, you know, you have to fight best of the best, but only he fought no wrestling Sanhagan, and yeah, he's good fighter, but you have to fight everybody to prove, and but
No, Merab, you have to fight everyone because the UFC didn't like you. And Aljamain Sterling, your friend, was champion for a while. Not that you were #1 contender. People use lies and say you turned down fights with Aljo. He was never offered that fight. But your best friend was the champion. You never cried you were #1 contender when he was champion until after you beat Petr Yan. And you had to fight everyone. You had to take that extra fight with Henry Cejudo because the UFC treated you like shit. Umar's undefeated 18-0, beat Corey Sandhagen, who was like #2 at the time, dominated Corey Sandhagen, and he is the rightful #1 contender. And we're going to talk about fan hypocrisy in a second, but let's listen to the rest of this clip.
I give people what they want, and I give UFC what they want, and let's see. I like to challenges, and still, thank you guys.
So my favorite thing about Umar Merab and the whole beef between Umar and Merab complaining Umar doesn't deserve it because he hasn't fought enough top guys, even though he's beaten a lot of quality guys in impressive fashion, and then he dominated Corey Sandhagen, a top 2 guy, is because the fans, I like to call them the Dagestani haters, but they're really the Caucasus region haters. They don't know who to hate here. It's like, do I hate on Merab or do I hate on Umar? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Do I say Merab is ducking or do I say Umar doesn't deserve a title shot? What do I do? I mean, literally in their brains, they're like, does not compute. Here is my take on it. At the end of the day, I said for a while, Merab was trying to force the UFC to deviate from Umar, okay? The UFC did not want Merab as champion. That's why they skipped him and gave Chito Vera a fight against Sean O'Malley. But now that Merab won the belt, they want to get the belt off him ASAP. That's why they're making him fight Umar, who rightfully deserves it if you look at the layout of the division right now. But let me just tell you this right now. A lot of fans are crapping on Merab. I'm going to crap on Merab in this very video because he made himself look absolutely stupid as a box of rocks in this video. If this was Sean O'Malley, they would be agreeing 100% with Sean O'Malley. They'd be like, yeah, Umar doesn't deserve this. Why are we giving him a title fight? Let's give Pedro Munoz the rematch. It was a no contest. So it's just hilarious to kind of watch that Caucasus region, anti-Dagestani, anti-Muslim fan base. They kind of hate on the same type of fighters. I don't know. I don't think Merab's Muslim, but you get my point. They hate that the fighters from that region of the world. Now they don't know what to do. They're like, who do I hate? I mean, this card must be an absolute nightmare. You got Islam, Arman, Umar, Merab. They don't know who to hate. All right, because Arman isn't too popular either. Remember that fight when he beat Charles Oliveira? Everyone hated on him for it. Said it was a robbery borderline, which is just ludicrous. But let's skip ahead because there's way more. We got to check out way more. I got to move faster than this. The next clip we're going to look at. Umar's asked about not deserving the title fight, and then Merab jumps in at one point, and then Umar just humiliates him.
Kaya Sakura fighting for the title. Debut fight. Who cares?
So he says Kaya Sakura fighting for the flyweight title in his debut.
Who cares about deserve, not deserve?
Be man first. You have to be man first. You are a good fighter, but you're not a good man.
I'm the man.
You are piece
You know
of shit, okay? You are piece of shit. You lost respect. You lost respect as a man for me, okay?
Screaming piece of shit. Umar smiling and confused. You have to be a man first. Umar verbally wrecks him here. Umar literally violates Merab here. Listen to this.
Real men don't talk in trash online, okay?
Okay, tell everybody what I said about your personality. I just described your behavior. You try to avoid me.
What did I say about your personality? I just described your behavior. You tried to avoid me. Unless I missed something, Umar didn't say anything online but facts, okay? And he even points this out later. So he's like, tell everyone, what did I say? How did I disrespect you? Meanwhile, Merab's saying, you disrespected me, while Merab's calling him a piece of shit just for pointing out the fact that Merab was trying to fight anybody else other than Umar. Makes no sense.
You even this doesn't mention my name.
Who are you? Fucking who you fought? You don't even
gonna show
you
you.
think I'm gonna go backwards and fight number 15?
I'm gonna show
I'm fighting
you.
for the belt.
I'm gonna
a
take
fucking
this belt
champion.
and you know it.
You fucking, how dare you, sneaky guy. After I beat Peter Yan and I come number 1 contender, you call me out. I don't even see this video that time, and you come in a locker room and you shake my head, congratulations. And you wanna fight me after you was number 14, I was number 1? You wanna fight me?
Peter Yan 50-45.
Yes.
And who
Peter
interested
Yan-
in this revanche? Nobody.
I don't know if you got, I'm going to repeat a lot of this because some people might not exactly pick up what he said. But listen to what Umar said here. Listen to this.
One contender, you call me out. I don't even see this video that time, and you come in a locker room and you shake my head, congratulations. And you wanna fight me after you was number 14?
So remember, Merab keeps campaigning for Petr Yan. Listen to what Umar says here.
I was number 1. You wanna fight me?
Peter Yan 50-45.
You beat Petr Yan 50-45.
Yes.
And
then
who
Peter
interested
Yan-
in this revanche?
Who's interested in this rematch? Yeah, who's interested in it? It happened, what, March of 2023? So it hasn't even been 2 years yet. And you want to campaign for the guy you dominated? And you act, and even later in this, he says, yeah, I want to fight the toughest challenge. Well, you want to fight Yan, who you 50-45 a year and a half ago? Umar points it out perfectly.
Nobody don't care about this revanche.
Bro, like
Only
Dana
one
White
person
said, it's
who
a-
can beat you.
Whoever is
It's me.
busy. You're not a
Nobody cares about that rematch, which is a fact.
busy.
You
You
not
fighting
person
once a year.
who choosing opponent for the title. You not. You fighter. UFC not owner your
You have to
company.
enjoy. You have to enjoy.
Shut up and fight.
They give you a gift and
I think there he said nut up and fight. Maybe somebody else can translate this for me. I'm pretty sure he said nut up and fight.
You fighter. UFC not owner your
you have to
company.
enjoy. You have to enjoy.
Shut up and fight.
They give you
UFC is not your company, nut up and fight, which is facts. Stop complaining. Umar's the biggest fight in the division. It makes a lot of sense. It's the biggest fight for you pay-per-view wise. This is going to do well. You're on a big card with Islam and Arman at the top of the card. You're getting pay-per-view points. It's not like you're getting a quick turnaround. Just fight him. Who cares? Why are you trying to pick the fight? You're making yourself look bad because the UFC is going to force you to fight Umar anyway. But it gets worse. This isn't even the worst part. We haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg.
a gift and be grateful.
Thank
Okay?
you, UFC, for
be
the gift.
grateful. Be grateful.
I'm thankful.
Take it. Yes.
Thank you.
Be
Thank
be
you.
real man.
Always.
Okay. You have
I'm
to be
thankful
man
person,
first.
and I will beat
You have to be man. Be humble.
Don't
Okay.
nervous. Don't nervous.
We all know the real fans know that you're getting gift this one. You know.
Does anybody?
So, obviously, they go back and forth. Anytime somebody mentions the Umar or Merab mentions the Umar, you were gifted. You were gifted. Umar just responds, thank you, UFC. Thank you, Dana White. Dana White jumps in here at the end. And I want you guys to remember this when I show you more clips at the end. So we're having this interesting exchange here. I'm just going to rewind a few seconds. We're having one of the most interesting exchanges in the last year at press conferences. And listen to Dana White just shutting it down immediately. Watch this.
Oh no, the real fans know that you're getting gift this one. You know.
Does anybody else have a question?
One for you.
Remember that clip later. Maybe I'll actually show it again later. You know, I'll show it again later. Next clip is probably the craziest back and forth between the two. They just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth here. And we have a media member at the end of this back and forth tirade between Merab and Umar, where Merab humiliates himself and Umar humiliates him again. We have a media member saying, you know what? I want to humiliate myself as well. Let me get in on the humiliation. Listen to this.
That you wanted to see Dana White in his office, and can you describe how the meeting went?
So this guy, great question. And in a second, he asked the worst question possible in like another minute. But he asked Merab about that comment Dana made about Merab charged into my office and demanded Umar, which none of us really believe. But let's listen to what Merab's answer is, which he now basically explained that's not the truth.
I heard UFC needs come and he went, and UFC they told me if I was ready for January, I was gonna take my time, but so I step up and I give what UFC wants, and I give people what they want.
I give the UFC what they want, and I give the people what they want, which is actually facts. Good on Merab for taking it, but that does not that sounds like a far cry from I charged and asked for the Umar fight. I don't think he really did.
And I take this challenge. So, and that's it.
And question?
So when they told me, so when they was talking about Umar, I said, Umar, like same thing, like I said here, Umar lost respect from me. You know?
Explain everybody. I want to know what for you disrespect. You the champion. Everybody want fight with you.
Calls him out perfectly here. How did I disrespect you? You're the champion. Everybody wants to fight you. Everybody wants to fight you. And by the way, I know I've been talking about Merab humiliating himself and embarrassing himself, which he does. But Merab and Umar actually sold UFC 311 here. This press conference makes UFC 311 more exciting, especially for fans who care about some of that kind of personal beef. I don't necessarily care about it that much. When it's real like this, like these guys, you can clearly tell Merab doesn't like Umar. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. We don't need this fake WWE, you know, Conor McGregor, get your candy ass back in the octagon, Michael Chandler style. But this is actually an interesting little beef between Merab and Umar. They stole this press conference, and I think a lot of people could see this and be like, you know what, I'm way more interested in this fight. But listen, Umar's going to ask him, like, how did I disrespect you? Everyone wants to fight you. And even I mean, it just speaks for itself. Listen.
You target, you take belt. If you don't want everybody want you fight, leave the belt. I don't care about you, Merab. Listen to me.
Talking personal, okay? I don't
listen
need
to me,
anything
Merab.
bad
Listen
for you. I was always respectful for you, okay? You have to be man first. Okay?
So Merab now, I mean, literally screaming at the top of his lungs. He starts screaming even more. But everyone wants to fight you. You have the belt. If you don't want to fight everyone, you don't want everyone that, you know, you don't want to defend your belt, then just leave your belt behind. And now he starts screaming a bunch of nonsense where he makes himself look so dumb here.
Okay, fuck this belt, fuck the money, fuck everything else, okay? You have to be the man first. Okay, I don't give a shit, okay? I don't give a shit about belt.
Calm down.
You have to give me as a man. I don't do anything disrespectful to as a man, okay?
Okay, let me say. What I said bad about your country, about your national, about your personal. What I said.
What did I say bad about your country, about your nation, about your personal? What did I say? Because Merab keeps screaming, you disrespected me. The only person I've seen disrespect anyone is Merab. Calling Umar a piece of shit earlier in the press conference. It made no sense. And he doesn't have any answer. Merab's dumb as a box of rocks. I hate to break it to you guys. He is.
Nothing. I just said you avoiding me.
You forgot whatever you tweet in online, whatever you post on online.
Everything about you avoiding me. Everything about that. You talk about I'm not deserved.
Everything was
I
lie.
said you.
Everything was lie.
What?
You
what
are a liar.
lie?
You're
What?
not a man. You lost my respect.
Prove it.
Prove
what
it.
I said lie. Yes, prove it.
Merab couldn't offer anything up. What did he say? Nothing. Pretty soon here, I think it's another minute of this clip, the media member jumps in and embarrasses himself. But let's continue.
You have to prove it. When you talk something, you have to say true.
You said I was ducking you. I said yes. I was gonna fight you in February or March.
It's not just me. All world. When
What world, bro?
Okay. When you after your fight, they asking about Umar. They asking
I don't
about
want to make you
Umar.
popular. You know, I don't want to. You
Thank
want
you, Dana
popular.
White.
So in case you don't pick up on that, they're talking about, they asked you after you won the belt. They asked you about me, and you wouldn't even mention my name. You wouldn't dare buck up. And he says, I don't want to make you popular. Because Merab didn't want to do anything that increased the probability that he would have to fight Umar next, which he didn't realize at the time. We all did. He was going to be forced to fight Umar regardless. But man, Merab really should have shut his mouth, because publicly all he did was just like basically openly try to duck Umar and try to avoid Umar. And I understand that no matter what, Merab was going to fight him and he wasn't scared of him. But publicly he was saying all these things, trying to get a fight with O'Malley, trying to get a fight with Jan in particular. And in here, he's basically saying you disrespected me by describing me as ducking, when everything you put out public facing came off that way. So it's just a horrible argument from Merab. Like, if Merab just said, look, I was always going to fight you. I'll fight whoever the UFC offers me. I don't care. And you said I was ducking. That's disrespectful. You're trying to embarrass me and humiliate me as a man. And that's just simply not true. And now the fans are running with it. But I don't blame the fans, because what have you been saying publicly?
I don't want to make you popular. Why have to promote you? Who are you?
Hey, Merab, UFC won't make this fight. They ask you after your
and then we
fight.
have this fight. Shut up and be grateful. Be humble, okay?
It's happened not because of you want. It's happened because of UFC want this fight. I said UFC. Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you, Hunter.
Okay, that's
my
what
dream
you should say.
becoming
That's what
dream
you should say.
Hey,
true.
guys, sorry, I just have a question for Islam, if it's possible.
I wish right now I was Jamal Hill and this guy on your screen is my brother and we're at Thanksgiving dinner. We're literally having the best back and forth we've had at a UFC press conference. It's not manufactured WWE beef. And this guy interrupts to say, I want to ask Islam a question. Excuse me, guys. If you could stop making this press conference interesting, I got to ask Islam a question. Oh, he for sure asked another great question, right? He has to ask a really good question. Let's just rewind and hear it in its full glory. He cuts him off. He's definitely going to ask Islam a really good question, right?
Thank you, Hunter.
Okay,
my dream becoming dream true.
Hey, guys, sorry, I just have a question for Islam, if it's possible. Sorry.
Thank you.
By the way, Dana again, thank you. Thank you for cutting him off. I'll be damned if this press conference makes me run a little bit late to Power Slap. I got to meet Jelly Bean there. I got to meet the Nelk boys there. Go, ask a good question now, media member. Dana thanked you for interrupting an interesting part of a press conference.
Islam, you know you have a crazy, dangerous opponent with Arman Tsaryukyan, so sorry to talk about something else, but one guy that keeps talking about you also is Ilia Topuria. Do you have a message for him? He really wants to fight you next year.
No, man. I'm tired to give chance the small guys.
Jamal, get this guy. Please get this. Jamal, please get this guy. Jamal, if you ever run into this guy, I'll bail you out. I mean, he interrupted one of the most interesting back and forths between one of the most interesting title fights of 2025 to say, hey, Islam, do you have a message for Ilia Topuria? The media just never fails to disappoint. Never fails to disappoint. What a horrible question. And Dana's like, thank you, sir. Thank you. We don't want to make this press conference too interesting. I got to get the Power Slap. Jelly Bean's waiting on me. I know I already made that joke once, but it's just too funny. If you haven't watched my video from yesterday, please go check it out. Dana White and Jelly Bean hanging out. Next clip, or next clip we're going to check out is the question that Merab actually had his best response. I'm not sure if I actually have the question here. The question might be in this clip, but I'm not sure. But in case it's not, Umar was asked, what has been your best moment with Islam in your career, basically?
Umar, you and Islam have shared so many memories together. I want to know, what's your best moment with him?
With who? With Khabib or with Islam?
Islam.
Best moment, same night we fight for the title. This is the best moment.
So Islam says best moment will be us winning titles together at UFC 311. Watch Merab right here. Okay, you can see him off to the right. I swear someone yells it to him while he's on stage. This was Merab's only highlight of the entire press conference. Don't get me wrong, he sold this press conference, but he looks stupid as hell. This was his best moment. What's your best moment of your career, Umar, with Islam? Listen to this.
Gonna be best moment. And about Islam, he
How
always...
about jacuzzi?
Merab says, how about jacuzzi? Let's play it one more time. Watch him look off.
And about Islam, he
How
always...
about jacuzzi?
You can come.
I was not there.
Come.
Merab's laughing. He's so proud of himself. Actually a funny line, but it really doesn't add up, but it's still hilarious. What he's referencing is, I believe it's this. There's this famous photo of like Islam and Habib and all the guys. I think they're all cutting weight or something. I don't know the whole story behind it. Hanging out in a jacuzzi tub. So he says that was Umar's favorite moment of his and Islam's career together, essentially. Even though Umar was not there, which Umar says I was not there. But that was Merab's only highlight of the entire press conference. And he goes on to get more humiliation served by Islam Makhachev here shortly. Listen.
And you have to talk your fight. Don't talk about something else.
And
Focus on your fight, Merab. Focus on your fight.
Okay.
I want to say just one thing. Merab, I don't have nothing for you. Just respect, but don't make the belt look bad, you know. When you have some real contender, just fight. This thing what I want to say, that's it.
Islam.
Look, I know he said that in an an unassuming tone. Hey, Merab, I don't have nothing for you. I think he meant nothing but respect for you. But then he absolutely bodies him. Let's listen to that one more time real quick. Real quick.
Don't make the belt look bad, you know. When you have some real contender, just fight. This thing what I want to say. That's it.
Islam,
Stop ducking contenders. Just fight the most deserving contenders. Stop crying and whining. You're making the belt. He's making the belt look bad. I've defended Merab against anti-Caucasus region fighter narratives over and over and over again. The UFC is kind of shit on Aljo Merab. I've defended them in the past. Merab keeps putting his foot in his mouth over and over and over again. Islam, I guess he didn't like that jacuzzi joke. Because he said, look, stop making the belt look bad, which is hilarious. And he's just being honest. He's just speaking facts. And then there's a little bit more to this clip as well.
I have so much respect for you, of course, and who don't have respect for you. And
I don't want to discuss some problem with you right now, but you join for.
we all know the Umar getting gift, you know.
How? One second.
Thank you so much for gift, Dana. Thank you so much.
I wanted to know what Islam was going to say there because he said 1 second, 1 second, but then Umar starts going, thank you, Dana, thank you, Dana.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. You good? Thank you for gift.
Okay, that's it.
I don't
That's
care.
how you
Gift,
should
no
talk.
gift.
That's how you
deserve,
should talk.
no deserve. I won't become champion. My dream becoming true and enough.
When UFC asked me to fight you, I said yes, I will fight February or March. And you started making excuse like, oh, Merab don't want to fight with me, and that's what
Merab definitely asked for like February, March because he wanted Umar to not be able to fight due to Ramadan. 100%. That's what he did.
After Piotr Jan won his fight, you listen with glasses, with some teachers and show how Piotr Jan deserves more than me.
Bro, he's active. He just beat Davison Figueiredo.
Okay,
Davison
Merab,
Figueiredo was
ask him
coming to
any
me.
fight.
I was so excited. Did you watch his
UFC.
fight? He looks so damn good.
I mean, the glazing of Piotr Jan. Piotr Jan's one of my favorite fighters. I would love to see him fight for a title again in the future. This dude's actively at a press conference for him versus Umar campaigning, saying, Jan looks so good. I mean, this might as well be Chandler, and Jan might be McGregor at this point. That's how bad this looks.
He looks like killing. That's why I wanted to fight killing.
For
And then
users
we saw
in Twitter,
Kamaru Usman
said you
rematch
ducking.
Leon
Not just
Edwards,
me.
and then we all see what happened. You know, Kamaru Usman lost against.
He's comparing it to the Kamaru Usman-Leon Edwards rematch. And I mean, just saying Jan looked like an absolute killer. I mean, you just fought him and you out-grappled him the entire time. Nobody wants to see that rematch ASAP. Everyone wants to see Merab versus Umar. Umar deserves a title shot. There's not even a doubt about that.
Rematch, you know. I wanna take best challenge.
Who has the next question?
Right now, who is best challenge for you? Everybody who you can beat, already you beat.
Good, and Sean O'Malley, and then you can stay in a line. But now you.
Dude literally mentioned Sean O'Malley again. I want to fight best challenge. Who's the best challenge? You already beat Jan. Mention Sean O'Malley. I mean, this is bad. It's actually painful to watch. Very painful to watch.
You are next.
You already beat these two guys, Merab. You already beat these guys.
I guess I've been here a long time, and I guess I need my respect, huh? I beat everybody. Who will you beat?
You don't beat me. That's why I'm here.
Okay, one last question.
Merab doesn't even know what to say there. And again, Dana trying to interrupt an interesting moment at a press conference. God forbid it goes 32 minutes. Oh my God. God forbid we have some intrigue. You already beat those guys. Merab looks so dumb. I mean, this is painful. Just shut up, Merab. Just shut up. Next clip. And this is the last clip we're going to check out of them going back and forth. I mean, man, this is just bad. It's just more Merab. I feel like I'm just getting redundant because Merab just looks so dumb. We got to skip ahead. We actually get some Arman Islam talk. And he talks. Merab is asked, why do you think everyone thinks Umar's the scariest guy in the division? And he starts hyping up Jan again. I mean, this is pathetic.
Maybe everyone you know, they think it's the scariest guys. But, I mean, when I tell you again, man, when I watch Peter Yan's fight, that guy looks scariest to me today. But, yeah, Umar is a good fighter, we all know. And, yeah, he's a good fighter, but yeah, I'm fighting, man. I'm fighting, and we're gonna see it. January 18, you know. I was the one who say yes to this fight, and I was the who go UFC office, and then who asked for this fight, and I'm fighting, and you guys all find out.
Absolutely. Hold on a second. Did I just miss this? Did you just say it right there, or did I have the wrong timestamp? Hold on.
Maybe everyone you know, they think it's scariest guys. But I mean, when I tell you again, man, when I watch Peter Yan's fight, that guy looks scariest to me.
Okay, I think I must have started at the wrong spot because I didn't hear that. When he watched Petr Yan's fight, he thought Petr Yan was scary. I mean, does it get any more pathetic than this? We got to hurry up because this video is already way too long. There was a lot to digest. Very interesting back and forth between Merab and Umar. Merab, absolutely pathetic, embarrassing himself, putting his foot in his mouth over and over and over again. Umar calling him out at every turn with perfect responses. Now, I want to go back to the moment with Dana White where he interrupts a good moment between Merab and Umar because at this point, I just wish Dana didn't even show up anymore. Let's replay this clip real quick. And we got more to check out that you haven't seen yet.
Don't nervous. Don't nervous.
We all know, the real fans know that you're getting gift this one, you know?
Does anybody else have a question?
One for
And you heard the other moments where he kind of interrupted here and there, but he interrupts that one. Oh, we're having an interesting moment. Oh, no. Listen to this next question. And this just goes to show why Dana needs to step aside already. He doesn't care about the sport. Listen to this.
You, Dana, straight.
Go ahead.
Dana, one for you straight all the way in the back. A lot of fans are saying this is one of the best main co-mains in UFC history. So I guess what do you make of the four men up there? And, as the fans are saying, just outside of the rivalry, the fights in general, this is just one of the best main co-mains we've seen.
You think Dana's just going to hype up the card? Which he kind of does. I mean, how checked out is this guy now? Listen to this.
This is for me, right? Yeah, okay. So on the night of this fight, I'm supposed to fly somewhere and go do something else that night. Fuck that shit. I'm canceling it, and I'm going to LA to watch this fight. There's no way in hell. Yeah, that's what I think of this fight.
Dude's canceling his plans with Jelly Bean. He says, I'm going to be here. One of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. I'm canceling. I was meeting up with the Nelk boys. We were going to gamble. You know, we were going to gamble in Las Vegas. We were going to play blackjack. Then I was going to go meet up with Jelly Bean. Then afterwards, I was going to go do an interview with Nina Drama. I mean, then there was Power Slap, Season 8. I mean, I was going to, but then, you know what? This card's so good. I'm just going to, I mean, dude doesn't even care to be at one of the biggest cards of the year, the first pay-per-view card of 2025. So, yeah, man, I'm canceling my plans. And he's getting applause for that. I mean, that's how checked out this dude is. He didn't even care to be at this press conference. I don't even want him there anymore, even though I complained yesterday. And then the last clip we're going to check out from this entire press conference might have been the most embarrassing moment of Dana White's appearance at this press conference, even though he systematically tried to ruin it over and over and over again. Listen to this.
And then question for Dana.
By the way, great question from the media member. Great question.
If Islam does get the job done here, will you finally put him over John Jones as the pound-for-pound best?
We'll see.
Dana, you have to be true, man.
Listen, Islam knows I love him, man, but you know how I feel about that. John Jones is undefeated for however many years, and yeah, boo all you want.
Dana's at the UFC 311 press conference glazing John Jones as the pound-for-pound #1. Even though when he announced Islam Arman, he was talking about Islam's the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. I mean, this guy's an embarrassment. He actually got pissed about this question, which just shows how, you know, insecure he is really about the whole John Jones stuff. And he goes on a little bit more here.
I don't give
Who
a
is
shit.
the #1? Tell Dana, who is the #1?
And fuck you for asking that question. Go ahead. All right.
I think actually low-key he was actually mad about that question because he looked like shit in front of Islam because he's been sucking John Jones instead of Islam literally for years.
Go ahead, man.
Question for Dana. I know LA is a market you've been wanting to go back to for a long time. So now that you're going back to LA, what are some other locations or cities you're going to look to go back to in 2025?
Dana, that's for you. Dana, that one's for you.
Oh, that was for me?
Yeah.
I'm still pissed off at this guy. I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead.
He's still thinking about John Jones being pound-for-pound #1 and having German Shepherds. He shoots guns. He smacks spray paint cans out of teenagers' hands during civil unrest. You know the spiel. You know the spiel. I think it's how you say it. Spiel. Either way, this is the end of the video, all right? We're getting out of here. There's a lot. Umar humiliated Merab. Merab made himself look bad. Dana White checked out. Didn't even want to be there. Islam bodied Merab with one sentence. Merab had one good line. Go follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. Like the video. Share the video. All that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.